Good morning. So just finished our morning session with the ladies, our 6:15 and our 7 a.m. Just thought I'd jump on a quick one about why, if you set a goal that says something like, I want to lose 20 kilos, and this is something that we go over on our initial one-to-one. So the ladies will come in, we'll have a one-to-one, and we'll kind of break down their goals. And one of the things we often look at is their why, like why bother? Because when you have a why, that does give you some leverage, that a pull in a direction that makes you think, you know what, when the going gets tough, when life gets in the way, I can just think of my why. And this is all well and good. And I say this, and I recommend that you do this, by the way, and keep that top of mind awareness. Because when you've got that reason, you know, I want to do it for my kids, my family, I want to be there for my health, I want my health to be better, I want to be less out of breath. These things are good motivators, especially when, you know, you're in that position where you're like, oh, should I go and snack? Should I go and nighttime eat? Whatever it is. But sometimes that's not enough. And quite often that's because we will set a goal like, no, I want to lose 20 kilos. And all of a sudden it's like, flipping out, where do I start with that? Like, you know, how am I going to be able to do this? How do I do this? And that's why most people actually kind of fail, really. Whereas, because we're always looking at something that's so far away, and then 1 kilo becomes almost irrelevant / pointless. We're almost disappointed if we lose a kilo, because it's just like, well, it doesn't really matter, I've still got 19 to go. Whereas when you break it down to 1 kilo milestones, this is why it's important to have a map and journey out 4-week blocks at a time, which is what we do. All of a sudden it becomes milestone ticked off, milestone ticked off. Then you start to build momentum. Because when I start to say now, okay, 20 kilos, that is quite a lot. And when I start to say, how long would you want to lose that for? People say, well, I don't really know. So no one has a clue. And I say, well, what about 5 years? And then someone will go, 5 years? That's ages. I could do it way quicker. And I say, well, how long? And I'll say, I don't know, 6 months. Then we work backwards and we work it down on a weekly basis. Then it becomes very clear. Then we break that down into 3 habits a day, aka the things you can control rather than the things you wish you can control. So not worrying about what the scale actually says today, but what you did about it. Because remember, whenever you are stressing why something didn't change that's out of your control, what are you not doing? So whenever you're stressing, what are you not doing? You're not doing the things that you know will help you do the things that you need to do to get the results you want. AKA, it might be that you set a pattern interrupt in for your nighttime eating. So instead of just expecting to stop nighttime eating today, instead you're going to go, right, at this time, I'm going to read my book 10 minutes. And your book is in a place where you get in, you've got it, you go and do it. I'm going to go for a walk, take an umbrella if it's raining. I'm going to go and have a bath after my evening meal, and I'm going to relax. I'm going to chill out. I'm going to take myself out of a kitchen environment where I know I'm going to have to rely on willpower because I'm so used to watching TV, eating, but I'm having a bath, read a book, see how I feel. That is focusing on what you can control, creating a pattern interrupt to stop the habit. Small things, I get that, but it's focusing on what you can control rather than what you wish you can control. And I could bring this to this weekend. So if you're planning on going out for a meal or something like that, and you're kind of in the moment of like stressing about, you know, you're trying to maybe get fit, improve your health, maybe fit back into some clothes for the summer, whatever it is, whatever your goal is, and you're like, oh, I've got meals out there, meals out here, it's going to be hard, I've got holidays. Just consider a few of these things. Now, what I would say is choose the meals out that you want to go and enjoy them. Accept that it may slow your progress, but that's a part of your lifestyle. At the end of the day, what's the rush if you can enjoy yourself and actually not find it hard? So flip that a little bit. Number 2, what can you control? So if you're going out for a meal today, what can you control today? Could you swap some starchy vegetable, some starchy, like, you know, potato, etc., for some Mediterranean veg or something like that that's still nice but loads of calories, an Americano instead of your latte, whatever it is. Real small changes really do add up. It's like, if you did that every day, an Americano instead of a latte, that's like 1,000 calories, potentially, depending on how big the size is, over the week. That's like nearly a pizza at a weekend. So my point is, small changes really do add up with that. And that's things you can control rather than controlling, or, you know, the weight's not changing. So when you're stressing, always remember, what are you not doing? Kind of always remember that whenever you go into that stress mode. And then ask yourself, the thing that you're stressing about, will you worry about in 48 hours? If not, it doesn't really matter. Will you worry about it in a week, a month, a year? Do that test. Will it? If not, then it's probably not worth worrying about. So just consider that. And number two, if you're going out with your other half, etc., and you're getting annoyed, maybe you've started something, because some of the ladies find this, they've started something and they find their other half loses weight way quicker than them, and all they did was like swap something they're just eating the evening meal. Just consider that it's easier for guys, mainly because, one, they're bigger, so they need more calories to just kind of live anyway, so they can get away with eating a bit more. Two, when you go out for a meal, when you buy stuff, just remember, you don't order and say, I want a male version or a female version of this meal. They just give you the same meal. So you're kind of at a deficit already in terms of willpower to stop and say, you know what, I've got the same portion size as you, yet you're like a foot taller than me or whatever, half a foot taller than me, bigger, yet I've got the same portion as you. It's just something to think about, because sometimes we blame metabolism, etc., but the reality is sometimes it's just harder for women than guys. I could go into all sorts of things with this, and I will cover that in a bit more detail. We've just done actually a little bit of a kind of a experiment training, if you like, on what you can do for women's health. So going through the menstrual cycle, menopause, a few stuff with like flax seeds that have helped some of the ladies, so 1 to 2 tablespoons a day, and soya yogurt, sunflower seeds as well. That, you know, will they do any harm? Probably not. Maybe a bit bloating, but you know, can they benefit? Yeah. And if it stops with hot flushes, stuff like that, it's going to benefit you. Anyway, I've gone off on a bit of a tangent, but my point is, focus on what you can control. When you're stressing, what are you not doing? What are you not doing? So just remember that. If what you're stressing about, you won't worry about it tomorrow, you won't worry about it next week, it doesn't matter. Focus on what you can control today, break it down into 3 things and hit milestones. So if you're trying to lose 20 kilos, how are you going to lose the first 1? That's all you need to worry about today. Hope that helps. Finally got to my point after all this tangenting, but hope that helps. Any questions, let me know. And if you haven't got a copy of my book yet, I'm actually writing a new one at the moment, but my current book, it's at frucifit.com/Fruci book. You can get it for free. Absolutely free, which goes over the 6 principles that I use to help with motivation, willpower, nighttime eating, comfort eating, whatever you want to call it. Just to start increasing your self-awareness, because it's not really about low carb, fat, sins, carbs, calories, whatever. Really, increase your self-awareness, start to question your habits, and get in control again. Hope that helps. Any questions, let me know, and speak soon.